I will pay 2 life for that. Here comes the Dragonfire Blade. Go ahead and pump Kotis up. We're going to take so many things from his deck right now because we can go ahead and give him +1 with this one, the Wingspan, and then the Symbiosis. I will go ahead and discard Saba. I don't think she really fits in our deck too well. So we're dealing 6 damage to the opponent. We will get to exile 6 cards, and we can play any number of cards we find there. This deck doesn't play anything more than 3 mana. I know technically Raise the Past is 4 mana. But yeah, I will happily play... These are all really good cards, and it doesn't really matter the order. We get a Sephiroth, we get our own Umbra Caller Zealot, we get a Zerfondam, we get our own Infestation Sage, and we get our own Nesting Bot. So yeah, I don't really see how the opponent comes back from this, and yeah, they scoop it up. His name was even Seth, so yeah, look at me. I am the Sephiroth Sacrifice deck now. He has his own Cactor Folk, and I think that's the only creature he can play, so let's just go ahead and flash this one in. Get rid of your Outcast Trailblazer. You just have 1 mana to work with, and we even found the Dragonfire Blade, so let's absolutely go. So Kotis going to be dealing a ton of damage, and I think we just get the opponent. It's 10, it's 14, it's 15 damage. You can only block one of these 4/4s. And I mean, we're dealing 6 damage, so get to exile the top 6. Hopefully don't find too many lands, and he's playing with a lot of 4 mana creatures, so hopefully we can find some more good stuff from him. So yeah, thank you, Kotis. GG. Hey there, neighbor. Welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video. Today we are revisiting a really fun card from the Tarkir Dragonstorm set, and that is Kotis, the Fangkeeper. For 4 mana, you get a legendary zombie warrior. He's a 2/1, but he does have indestructible, which is really nice. And we can see his text says that whenever Kotis deals damage to a player, you get to exile X cards from the top of their library, where X is the amount of damage that you dealt, and then you may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less. So the whole goal of today's deck is get Kotis on the battlefield and then start pumping him up. You know, you want to get his power up a lot more so that when you do punch into the opponent, maybe for 5 or 6 damage, you get to exile that many cards, and then you can play any cards with mana value 5 or 6 or less, which is really nice. So one problem is, of course, if the opponent does have a lot of chump blockers, they can just always, you know, chump block Kotis. So that is where the Heirloom will come into play. For 2 mana, we get an artifact where we can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Use this mana to cast only a creature spell, but then we can also tap the Heirloom, and a creature with power 4 or greater would gain Trample, so that's a way that Kotis could punch through, and of course they do need power 4 or greater, so we do have a few ways of actually pumping Kotis's power up. In the 2 mana slot, we have Innkeeper's Talent. For 2 mana, this enchantment enters, and at the beginning of combat on our turn, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, so of course we'll always be wanting to grow Kotis. And then you can level up the talent for 1 green mana, and then any permanent with a counter on them gets Ward 1, which is kind of nice, and then you can spend 4 mana to level up the talent all the way up to level 3, where if you would put 1 counter on a permanent, you get to put twice that many counters. So then every turn you essentially put 2 +1/+1 counters on Kotis. So that's the way that we can start growing him. We also have Overprotect for 2 mana. Target creature gets +3/+3, and they gain Trample, Hexproof, and Indestructible until the end of the turn. The Indestructible is, of course, redundant because Kotis does have Indestructible himself, but +3/+3 and Trample. That is a really nice way to kind of guarantee that you can get a hit in with Kotis. And then we are trying out a new card from the through the Omen Path set or the Spider-Man set, and that is Aggressive Symbiosis. This is an enchantment aura where we get to enchant a creature, so we will be enchanting Kotis, and the enchanted creature will get +1/+1, and they will gain Menace as well, which is pretty nice because then if the opponent has a chump blocker, well, then they need 2 creatures that they'll have to put in front of Kotis, every turn, and that might be a little bit too much for them. It does also give them, or give Kotis a +1/+1, which is really nice. We're trying out the Wingspan Stride for just 1 blue mana. It is another enchantment aura. We get to enchant a creature, and the enchanted creature will get +1/+1, and they will have flying. So then Kotis can go over the top because there's really not too many flyers in standard right now. Of course, the Angel deck is one that comes to mind. Mono White Life Gain has a few flyers as well, a few of those bats. But it's not too prevalent, and of course there's a few creatures with reach, but flying is just such a nice way to go over the top of your opponent and kind of guarantee that you can get some damage in. And then finally, another way to pump up a creature that we have is the Dragonfire Blade. I absolutely love this piece of equipment. For 1 mana, this equipment comes down, and then you do have to spend 4 mana to equip it, but this equipment cost is reduced by 1 for each color of the creature that we're equipping it to, and we see Kotis has 3 different colors in his color identity, so then the equip cost is just 1, which is really cheap, and that gives our creature +2/+2, and they gain protection from monocolored, which is also really nice. So that could be a really nice way to, you know, pump Kotis up to a 4/3 right away. I guess one other way that we could pump him up is with the Arch Enemy Charm from the Edge of Eternity set for 3 black mana. We can choose one option. We can either exile a target creature or planeswalker that the opponent controls. We can return 2 creatures from our graveyard to our hand. I'm not sure we'd ever really be choosing that option. Or we can put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature we control, and it also gains lifelink until the end of the turn, so that's another nice way to pump Kotis up. We're also playing with Awaken the Honored Dead. This enchantment, it actually has Kotis on there as well, so it's very fitting. It's chapter 1, says destroy target non-land permanent, so you can blow up a creature, maybe a planeswalker that the opponent has. And then chapter 2 says mill 3 cards, and then the chapter 3 says you may discard a card, and when you do, you get to return a creature or land from our graveyard to our hand. And then, yeah, I guess some of the last creatures we're playing with is Llanowar Elf. It's probably one of the best 1-drops in Standard right now, especially in the color of green, because we can tap him to add mana, so that's a little bit of mana acceleration right there. And then we're also going to try out Sab Sunin, the Luxa Embodied. For 5 mana, we get a 6/6 creature with Reach, Trample, and Indestructible, which is really good stat-wise. But Sab Sunin can't attack or block unless it has an even number of counters on it, and at the beginning of our first main phase, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on Sab Sunin, and if it has an odd number of counters on it, then you get to draw 2 cards. So yeah, those are the creatures that we're playing with. It really is just trying to pump Kotis up, swing into the opponent, and maybe play some of the cards that they're playing with, because I think if you can get Kotis up to 4 power, I mean, you can see from our deck right away, you could play basically every single card in our deck, because nearly every single card, with the exception of Sab, is less than 4 mana. Of course, you could swing in for 4, deal 4 damage to the opponent, and maybe you exile 3 lands and a 1 mana spell. You can still play the 1 mana spell for free. You can't play any lands. I guess maybe if you miss a land drop yourself, maybe you could play a land. I guess we'll see if that's true or not. I can't remember. But yeah, it is a little bit of luck, you know, what you hit from the top of the opponent's library. But yeah, Kotis is a really fun creature to play with, and I haven't played with him in quite a while. So yeah, we're revisiting him today, and we're trying to pump him up, put some enchantment auras on him, and try and finish out some opponents that way. So I'll see you guys in the games. All right, guys, we get to go first. I think I will keep this one. Got Kotis and the Dragonfire Blade, which is really nice, and we get to go first. I think we will have all of our colors as well. So turn 1, we can go with the Elf. Turn 2, we can get down Dragonfire Blade and the Elf. And then turn 3, if we find another land drop, we can go Kotis and equip the Dragonfire Blade right away, I think. So yeah, we'll definitely shock that one in. And then we'll get down Watery Grave. I don't think we need to shock it in. Opponent with his own Elf. We could also blow that one up. Nah, we'll stick with our plan. We'll get down this Elf, and then we will get down the Dragonfire Blade, and I just hope we can hit a land drop, because then we can go Kotis and equip the Dragonfire Blade immediately. We're playing against Yoshi. the dinosaur, the long tongue. He goes, "Ah." It's a Simic deck. They hit us with the stock up. So they are shields down, so we'll be able to get Kotis down. And yeah, I really hope we hit a land drop. Because opponent could, of course, have a bounce spell. Yes, we do hit the land drop. Starting town is a great one. So yeah, here comes Kotis, and then we can equip the Dragonfire Blade for 1 mana right there. So we now have a 4/3. We can go with the Wingspan next turn to give Kotis +1 in flying. So then we'll be swinging in for 5 damage. And yeah, he can't bounce our Kotis right now, thanks to the protection from monocolored, which is really nice. Opponent with Demara, Soul of a Spider, so they might be a spider deck. And he goes with Destroy Artifact. That absolutely sucks for us. I will shock this one in. We will give Kotis +1 and flying, and then I will go ahead and blow up your Demara. And then we will just attack with these two. Did 3 damage, so we get to exile 3 cards, and we can play anything. So we can play Zora. Anytime a creature enters, we get to gain 1 life. And this one, exile 1 card from a graveyard and draw a card. So we will go ahead and exile, I guess, your stock up. I can't imagine this guy really does too much with the graveyard. And we found the Aggressive Symbiosis, so that will give Kotis another +1. Tarantusk. Ooh, Mac D. That one does have flying. Overprotect is an amazing draw. Oh, and we can actually play Symbiosis. What do we have to do? Exile. Oh, discard a card. We're not doing that. So we'll give Kotis Menace right now. And we're just going to... Do we keep Overprotect open? I don't think so. Let's just smack the opponent for 7. Kotis does have Menace right now, so Mac D can't block him. He needs another flyer. We get to exile 7 cards, and we can play anything that we find from there. So there's the Leyline Weaver we get to play. Soul Spinner we get to play, and we even found an Eggrix. For 5 mana, we would get a legendary Symbiote Spider with Death Touch and Lifelink. So yeah, there you guys can see how nice the Aggressive Symbiosis is, giving our creature Menace. They do have a flyer, which is, of course, a problem, but Menace means that he would need 2 flyers, which he doesn't have. Smack them for 7, so yeah, and found quite a few good hits, honestly. I think we could play 4 cards from the 7 that we exiled, so GG. All right, guys, opponent goes first. Oof. We are missing black, technically, because we don't have any... Okay, never mind. We have all the colors we need, which is really good. Can get down Awaken the Undead on turn 3. So it looks like a Sephiroth Sacrifice deck. It's for sure a Sephiroth Sacrifice deck. I mean, giving Kotis flying will be quite nice. There's Voice of Victory, so we'll definitely blow that one up. It's a really good creature for them. They do get their speed up. I will go ahead and auto-pay. Arch Enemy's Charm is also really nice. I think I might save that for Kotis, though. Just give him a nice 2 counters and have him have lifelink then. There's the Umber Caller Zealot. That thing can sacrifice any creature anytime he wants. It's really, really good for just 2 mana. And you get a 3/2. I think that's a little bit too good. Mill some cards. And we will go ahead and play Kotis. And then next turn we can get the Dragonfire Blade down. Equipped it for 1. Get down a Wingspan. I think we might be able to get a double Wingspan down. He could, of course, have a Raise the Past. He would get back 3 creatures then, which would be pretty good for him. That one doesn't have flying, though, so the Symbiosis might also be really nice. Just hope he doesn't have any exiling things. I don't think. this Sephiroth Sacrifice deck really does. It is a Raise the Past. I'm not too concerned about this, if I'm being honest. Because, yeah, with Kotis, we may discard a card and return a land. I guess we'll get rid of the Heirloom because we don't really need that one right now. And I will pull the land back just because I want as much mana as possible right now. I will pay 2 life for that. Here comes the Dragonfire Blade. Go ahead and pump Kotis up. We're going to take so many things from his deck right now because we can go ahead and give him +1 with this one, the Wingspan, and then the Symbiosis. I will go ahead and discard Saba. I don't think she really fits in our deck too well. So we're dealing 6 damage to the opponent. We will get to exile 6 cards, and we can play any number of cards we find there. This deck doesn't play anything more than 3 mana. I know technically Raise the Past is 4 mana. But yeah, I will happily play... These are all really good cards, and it doesn't really matter the order. We get a Sephiroth, we get our own Umbra Caller Zealot, we get a Zerfondam, we get our own Infestation Sage, and we get our own Nesting Bot. So yeah, I don't really see how the opponent comes back from this. And yeah, they scoop it up. His name was even Seth, so yeah, look at me. I am the Sephiroth Sacrifice deck now. But yeah, let's think about this. Next turn, we would give Kotis another +1, and then with the Arch Enemy's Charm, we would go with the third option to give him +2 and lifelink. So then we would be dealing 9 damage. He does have Menace. I guess he could... Maybe, yeah, with the Umbra Caller Zealot, he could sacrifice the Sage. So he would actually be able to get 2 flying insects. So I don't think we'd be dealing 9 damage to him because he would have 2 chump blockers, but we would be gaining 9 life. And I mean, we have our own Sephiroth at this point right now. So yeah, that was a really clean game when Sephiroth can really just punch in, or sorry, when Kotis can punch in for a lot of damage, especially when they play a deck with, yeah, nothing really more than 3 mana. So we got some really good hits there. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 hits. I guess we found 1 land and then 5 creatures. So really, really nice hit from Kotis. GG. All right, we get to go first. Dragonfire Blade, hopefully into Kotis on turn 4. I can dig it, I can dig it. We'll get down the Watery Grave on turn 1, and we don't need to shock it in. And I do really like Arch Enemy Charm from the Edge of Eternity set. It's just really unfortunate that he costs 3 pips of black mana. But it's all good. If our elf survives this turn, we can get the island down, and then we can play Kotis on turn 3. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have any forced sacrifice. Hopefully he doesn't remove our elf. He's playing in Orzhov colors. So yeah, it was a little bit too much to ask for. So now we really need to hope that we draw a land, untapped land source, black, green, blue. So we have all of our colors. High Noon for 1 spell each turn. Yikes. Virtue of Persistence does also give -3/-3, which can take Kotis out, but if we do have him equipped with the Dragonfire Blade, then we will be sitting pretty, because he can't target us then. It's the Caustic Bronco. We missed the land drop, which sucks, and we actually don't have any green mana to keep Overprotect open for us. So let's hope with his 1 spell, he chooses not to remove our elf. It's the Demon Wall into a saddled up Bronco. So we will be able to get Kotis down. Will he survive? That is another question entirely. Opponent plays a land for turn, and we do hit our land drop, which is nice. Unfortunately, oh wait, I think we can equip it right away because it's an equip cost of 1. So Kotis now has hexproof from monocolored spells. So I think the only thing that could really get us is maybe a Beyond the Quiet. Not sure if this guy plays that. And we have a triple black pip now as well, so we can give Kotis +2/+2 in lifelink, which is really nice. can go ahead and equip the other Dragonfire Blade. Maybe we'll do it like that. We might equip the Dragonfire Blade and go with the Overprotect. So there's the Unholy Annex. Opponent's going to drain us for 2. Could also exile the Demon Wall, just because he will be draining us each turn, and he's tapping it. Kind of wild that you're attacking, I guess, to drain us. So I kind of just want to punch the opponent as hard as I can, so we will go with put 2 counters onto Kotis. And then we can equip this Dragonfire Blade. So we're smacking in for 8, gaining 8 life, get to exile 8 cards from the opponent's deck, and we can play, I'm pretty sure, all of them. And wow, can you actually believe it? 1, 2, 3, 4. We hit 5 lands. I don't get why we can't play this one or Virtue of Persistence. You may not play these cards. Oh my gosh, because of High Noon. Opponent did not realize it, but High Noon actually... It is only because we played Arch Enemy Charm. If we had not played Arch Enemy Charm, I mean, Kotis would only be at 6. So... then we would have... But even then, we're only able to play... one of those cards. So High Noon actually shut us down. But I mean, Kotis, you know, punching in for 8 was quite nice, gaining 8 life. But yeah, High Noon actually shut us down. That's pretty funny. I was confused for a second. GG though. All right, guys, we get to go first. Don't think we can keep this hand, unfortunately. This one I will keep, and I'll get rid of the Symbiosis. We can get Elf on turn 1. We can get the Watery Grave on turn 2, and we don't need to shock it in. To get the Heirloom down. Opponent with the Builder's Talent. So probably a more control-y build. And yeah, we just pass for right now. Really need to find Kotis. Kotis and Otis. It's going to level that one up. Don't know what it says because it's glitched out. Whenever one or more non-creature... I guess we can equip the Dragonfire Blade immediately. And then, yeah, we can't quite attack. But at least he won't be able to target us with his mono-colored white spells. And yeah, if we find Kotis, we'll be able to play him right away and then equip the Dragonfire Blade right away. Oh, ask and you shall receive. Let's absolutely go, deck. Oh, I don't know. I wish it tapped the elf, because then we could have played the Wingspan on him. But that's fine. We'll be able to give him flying next turn, put 2 more counters on him. And yeah, opponent not able to target him, which is really nice. If he has a board wipe, Kotis does have Indestructible. And yeah, I think we'll be punching in for 6 damage next turn. Get to draw a card as well with the Heirloom. Opponent really does not like this protection from monocolored, or hexproof from monocolored. Soul Guide Lantern, I'm not too worried about. Alright, yeah, I think we'll play both of these. Let's hope we can draw another pump spell. Just a Watery Grave, that is too bad. But we don't need to shock it in. It can enter tapped. And then here come the Wingspan, so we get flying. We'll go ahead and put another +1 on Kotis. So swinging in for 6 damage, we can go ahead and draw a card on top of this because Kotis does have more than 4 power right now. And he gains trample. But it doesn't matter because he has flying. These little birds, they don't have flying. That's a feels bad moment for the opponent. Big smack for 6 damage, and let's see what we hit. We get to draw a card, which is really nice. It's another Dragonfire Blade. And, alright, what's the sequencing here? I guess opponent scoops it up. Yeah, you do have to think about the sequencing a little bit. Oh, we couldn't quite play an Overlord. If we had one more power, we would have been able to play Overlord as well. Wow, let's go. But yeah, like I said about sequencing, you want the, I think you choose Caretaker or the Carrot Cake first, so it goes on the stack first, and then we could choose Exercise. We could exile an artifact or enchantment of theirs, probably one of their builder's talent, and then we choose the Caretaker's talent so that it's on the stack last, which means it's coming into the battlefield first. So then when we generate the white rabbit token with Carrot Cake, we would get a double draw off both of these Caretaker's talent. And then it does cost 4 mana to level it up. Yeah, so I think we could spend 1 mana to create a token of the rabbit that we're building with this one. And then we could play the Dragonfire Blade, tap the elf to equip it to Kotis right away. So he would go up to a 8/7 creature. And then next turn we would have 4 mana left over to... Oh, but that only says your tokens get +2/+2. I'm pretty sure Caretaker's Talent, the final chapter is tokens get +2/+2. So I don't think it would really be worth it leveling it up all the way. But yeah, one hit with Kotis, an opponent did not like that. We probably found the best card in their deck, Caretaker's Talent. That is their whole card draw engine and value engine. So yeah, Kotis with the Dragonfire Blade. He maybe had an Exercise himself. Well, if he did, I think he would have gotten rid of the Dragonfire Blade. Just that one turn he was hovering over Kotis quite a bit. But yeah, I choose to believe that the Hexproof from Monocolored saved us there. So GG. All right, guys, opponent goes first, which is unfortunate, and I did make a small change to the deck. I took out Arch Enemy Charm. I do really like that card, but the 3 black pips of mana to cast it when we're trying to play Kotis, who needs 3 different colors himself, is a little too steep for us. But yeah, this we can definitely keep. Can get Breeding Pool on turn 1, and we might as well just shock it out. And then we can get the Watery Grave next turn into Watery Grave, shocked in, and we can play Kotis on turn 3, which will be quite nice. Opponent with the Iron Crag, so they might be looking to ramp into Ugin. That is a possibility, and let's see. So this is green, black. This one will be blue. The elf can add the generic mana. So yeah, we have Kotis coming down next turn. Ooh, Patchwork Banner. That's interesting. Might name Sliver. He names a Druid. Okay. And we actually will get this Swamp in. Don't need to take any damage from these shock lands. And yeah, we have a Kotis plus an Aura next turn. Hope we can find a few more Auras just to pump Kotis up. The Dragonfire Blade would be really nice. This can also actually tap to add mana. And he plays the Outcast Trailblazer. So we will get down Starting Town. And then Kotis will be punching in for 3 damage. Let's see if we can take anything of value from the opponent in their top 3. 2 lands, yikes. That you hate to see, but we did get Surak. What does he say again? Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, you get to draw a card. Okay. Not the worst hit. I mean, he does have 4 power himself. But yeah, I really want to find some of our auras. Get Kotis with that aura. He goes with the Teamer Battle Crier. So 4 mana spells cost 1 less, I believe. So we can go ahead and flash in Nowhere to Run. So this is also why it's nice. So yeah, here comes Nowhere to Run. We'll definitely get rid of this creature. And yeah, he gets Outcast Trailblazer. He will have 3 mana to work with. He will have 3 mana to work with. But, I mean, Kotis has Flying, which is really nice. And we have another Nowhere to Run. So, this is actually perfect. Can go ahead and let's do it like that. Can attack in with Kotis. So now we're dealing 4 damage to the opponent. So get to exile the top 4. Again, 2 lands, but we found the Mardu Siegebreaker. That is absolutely awesome. And the Cactor Folk. I guess we can take the cat. Well, I maybe should not have taken him, because if he does remove the Mardu Siege Chicken, he will get his Cactor Folk back. So that is a little bit unfortunate, but we will have a lot of trample damage coming through. Next turn, we have a Nowhere to Run, which is pretty nice. He has his own Cactor Folk, and I think that's the only creature he can play, so let's just go ahead and flash this one in. Get rid of your Outcast Trailblazer. You just have 1 mana to work with, and we even found the Dragonfire Blade, so let's absolutely go. So Kotis going to be dealing a ton of damage, and I think we just get the opponent. It's 10, it's 14, it's 15 damage. He can only block one of these 4/4s. And I mean, we're dealing 6 damage, so get to exile the top 6. Hopefully don't find too many lands, and he's playing with a lot of 4 mana creatures, so hopefully we can find some more good stuff from him. So yeah, thank you, Kotis. GG. All right, guys, we get to go first. Elf on turn 1, Blade on turn 2, Kotis on turn 3, into Equipped Dragon Blade and Wingspan on turn 4. This is shaping up to be the perfect game. We will have all of our colors as well. Okay, blue could have a lot of counter spells, which does worry me a little bit, but there was no stick right there. We will smack the opponent for 1. So now we'll actually be able to play Kotis and equip the Dragonfire Blade right away, thanks to that Llanowar Elf draw. And yes, opponent is all tapped out. We will get down to starting town. So yeah, here comes Kotis. And go ahead and equip the Dragonfire Blade on turn 4. Let's absolutely go. Turn 5. No, sorry, that was turn 3. Turn 4, we can give our guy flying. Of course, he has a flyer himself. Kind of crazy. But you will have to block. There's no way you have flyer after flyer after flyer. Opponent could have a Nowhere to Run. That does get around hexproof. And he is playing black, but I mean, Wingspan. Ooh, Innkeeper's Talent is a great pickup because we can level it up. And then we can give Kotis flying. And then we can get another counter on him. And yeah, opponent, he's not blocking. That's insane. But we're going to hit 6 lands. 1, 2. He's playing Rise the Dark Realms. That is absolutely awesome. Essence Scatter we can't play, so only 2 cards we can play. We can play our own Raven, and we can play this one. We could counter one of these spells right now. That is too funny. Draw and then discard, so actually get rid of a land. I'm really happy about that. And I mean, Kotis does have Indestructible. He has 5 toughness right now, so even if you do have a Nowhere to Run, that only gives us -3. Next turn, we can fully level up the Innkeeper's Talent. And yeah, the fact that this opponent is playing with Rise of the Dark Realms, that is awesome. Absolutely love that card. For 9 mana, return all creatures from the graveyard to the battlefield. It's kind of like the Bringer of the Last Gift, but I think a way cooler card. I do like Bringer of the Last Gift. It's just people are just absolutely abusing this card right now. Mill 3 cards, then return from your graveyard to your hand. Ooh, Overprotect as well. I think this opponent is probably just dead right now because Overprotect. So 9. We're dealing 11 damage. Let's see if we can hit a Rise of the Dark Realms from the opponent. I know we could have finished him off there. Well, no, we couldn't have. He would have been at 1. Okay, not the best, but I think opponent's playing with maybe a budget deck. I got to give respect to them. Oh, no, I don't want to play Essence Scatter. That for sure we're not playing. Play another Scavenger and another Crow. So got some nice creatures from the opponent. Ooh, we even found a Aggressive Symbiosis. So if he does have a bunch of flyers, I can go ahead and give him Menace. So he needs 2 flyers next turn, but I mean our board state is just way too big. And yeah, Kotis, thanks to the ramp early on, we were just able to put a ton of pressure on the opponent. He has no creatures in his... Oh, this is all in exile. Never mind. In his graveyard. He's got a few creatures. Opponent is playing with a kind of unique deck. Gotta give mad props to him for that. We will get rid of the elf. Yeah, it was over. Because you just have one blocker and we have way too many creatures attacking. But let's see. Kotis gets another +1 right there. So he goes up to 9. And then this one would put 2 counters. So I think, again, we're dealing 11 damage to the opponent. He only has 24 cards left in his library. He only has 9 cards in his graveyard. 9 cards in exile. Yikes. GG. All right, guys, we go first. We always take 1 mulligan to try and find Kotis. If we don't, we'll just stick with what we got. So we'll go ahead and ship back Overprotect. Breeding Pool can come in untapped. Or it can come in tapped, sorry. This is tapped. I always get those two confused. Mono White Life Gain, everyone's favorite thing to play against. So yeah, here comes Dragonfire Blade. Next turn we got Awaken the Undead on their Essence Channeler or their Ajani, which we know that they always have it on turn 2. Ooh, tap land from the opponent. Interesting. Do you have a creature? He does have a creature. Okay. Nice. Nice little end web. For 1 mana, you get a 3/3. So, pretty good from the opponent. But yeah, we'll go ahead and remove that creature. So, I don't think it's Mono White Life Gain. Just a 3 mana 3/3. It's a fair creature card. In Standard? Wow. That is kind of crazy. Mac D. Probably remove that creature. Because I don't think they're trying to do too much with life gain. What does this thing do again? Create a token that's a copy of an artifact. Oh, we mill a Kotis, which is amazing because we can get him back next turn. So, next turn we'll need 4 mana. Yeah, so we can do it like this. We'll get down Innkeeper's Talent. Hopefully we find a land as well so we can equip the Dragonfire Blade. I want to keep Nowhere to Run available. We'll go ahead and flash it in on their turn. See which creature he plays. But at the same time, we do have to discard a card. Honestly, I think I'm fine taking 3 damage. I think we'll discard Nowhere to Run. Even though he could be playing Sheltered by Ghosts. And then Nowhere to Run is pretty nice to keep. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to do. I think we'll keep our hand. Overprotect is also really nice. I think I will get rid of Nowhere to Run. Just so we can pull back Kotis. And yeah, unfortunately we did miss the land drop, so we can't equip right away. But next turn, we can go with the Symbiosis and the Dragonfire Blade and level up the Innkeeper's Talent. And if we do hit a land drop, then we can go equip the Dragonfire Blade, go Aggressive Symbiosis, and go with an Overprotect as well. Hopefully the opponent isn't playing Sheltered by Ghosts because we did get rid of our Nowhere to Run. Twin Blade Paladin. It's a pretty nice creature for them. And we did find the land. You know what? I'm going to do it. We're going to shock this in. Do have to take 2 damage for that. And this is only if they have 25 or more life. So we'll be able to make sure that they definitely can't gain up to 25. So this one won't have double strike. So we are taking 7 damage next turn, which is quite a bit, but we're dealing 10 damage to the opponent. We'll get to look 10 cards deep and play anything we find there. So yeah, this is a pretty nice turn if you ask me. We have Menace, big smack for 10 damage. Let's hope we don't find just 10 lands off the top. Ooh, I think I saw a Sheltered by Ghost. We can't play that. That's kind of annoying. Maybe because we can't target ourselves. So if we play, when this guy enters on another target creature. So we found 3 Ajanis, which is pretty funny. And yeah, we can't play Sheltered by Ghosts. That is kind of, I wonder if that's because that's his card and we can't target Kotis with it. Let's see what Dragonfire Blade says. Oh, it just says wait, but we can equip Aggressive Symbiosis. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure how that works, but it's fine. Got a bunch of blockers. Ooh, but they do all come in tapped. I only see 7 damage from the opponent right here. If he gains 3 life, that one goes up to 7, 8, 9. That is only 10, so... Well, he does get a card draw. He could technically gain 4 life somehow. No, because one of them is just a land. Well, that's 1 right there. So 5, 7, that's 8 damage. Oh, if he has 2 more creatures, he actually gets us. No, but he's all tapped out. So we literally have 1 HP and a dream is what we're down to. Wow. 1 HP and a dream. Absolutely love to see that. Ooh, and Overprotect actually gives us trample, which is amazing. And this one we can't level it up right away, but... Oh, MacD has flying, though. 12, 14, 16, 18. We're dealing 20 damage, though. Oh, and we gain lifelink. Let's absolutely go. So we're gaining 12 life. And I think the opponent is just dead. They definitely had to block with this creature as well. They would have survived on 1 HP, and we would be gaining 12 life, and we would get to mill them or exile 12 cards of theirs. We would get to play them all. They do all come in tap, though, thanks to MacD. So that creature nearly got us, but wow, we got there in the end. Code is absolutely filled with aura right now, as the cool kids say. GG. All right, guys, we get to go first. Just need some black mana, and we would be able to play Kotis on turn 3. Can even get the Innkeeper's talent down, which is really nice. Don't need to shock this in, but at the same time, we might, just so we can level it up right away. Ooh, opponent on the Spooter deck, and we did find the black source, so I am 100% going to shock this in. And then we can go ahead and level this one up right away. So next turn we have Kotis, can put a counter on him right away. Turn after that we can go Overprotect. And Nowhere to Run to remove a creature. So opponent might be playing, he's definitely playing the Spider deck with, I think his name is Scions. The Earth Spider was, I think, the first deck I played for this Omen Path set. So pretty cool from the opponent. But yeah, here comes Kotis. Gonna put a counter on him, and next turn, like I said, we have Overprotect. Honestly, maybe into a Wingspan. So that's +4 right there. We get another counter, so we'll be dealing 8 damage to the opponent. So we would get to mill 8 cards. Oh, that one does have reach. You have to be kidding me. All right, well then maybe change of plan is to go with Nowhere to Run on this guy. No, we can still do everything we want. So here comes Nowhere to Run. Oh, but both these creatures have reach. That is really unfortunate. Well, we'll still do it. Oh no, opponent gave it up. Why? We didn't have trample and he had just too many creatures with reach. So I don't think we were going to burn. Oh, but wait, this does give us trample. So I think we still would do that because I think Kotis is still getting +1. It goes up to 5. Innkeeper's talent would get to put a counter on him, so that's 6. And Overprotect gives +3/+3, so 9. And he would have trample. So yeah, then we would deal 8 damage. I'm not sure where this... Well, it says he has flying right now, I guess because this is equipped. So yeah, we're either dealing 8 or 7 damage to the opponent, and I think that's enough to play every single card from his deck. So absolutely GG. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to the post-game wrap. Today we looked at a really, really fun creature, and that's Kotis, the Fangkeeper, for 4 mana. He does need 3 different colors, blue, black, and green, so that can be pretty tricky to pull off sometimes. But yeah, you get this indestructible zombie warrior, 2 power, 1 toughness. He is indestructible, and whenever you deal combat damage to the opponent, you get to exile that many cards from the top of their deck for however much damage you did, and then you can play any number of cards with mana value of X or less, where X is how much damage we did to the opponent. So we have quite a few ways of pumping Kotis up. Probably the best way is with Dragonfire Blade. Can equip this for 1 and Kotis gets +2/+2, but other really good ways of pumping him up are with Innkeeper's Talent. Then every single turn you get to put a counter on him. I have really liked Aggressive Symbiosis, this new aura from the Through the Omen Path set or the Spider-Man set. It gives your creature +1/+1, and they have Menace, so then, you know, opponent could have a few chump blockers, but with Menace, you know, then they're forced to put 2 creatures in front of Kotis, and you can actually combo that up with Wingspan Stride. For just 1 blue mana, you can enchant your creature, it gets +1/+1, and it has Flying. So if you have Flying and Menace, there's really not too much in Standard right now that can deal with that combo. Another nice way to have Kotis do some damage to the opponent is with Overprotect. For 2 mana, our creature gets +3/+3, and they gain Trample until the end of the turn, so Trample, really nice ability as well. And with the Heirloom, for 2 mana, can help cast Kotis as well, add 1 mana of any color, which is really relevant because we are playing a 3-color deck. You can only use that mana to cast creature spells. But we can also tap the Heirloom to give a creature with power 4 or greater Trample as well. So that's another way that you can have Kotis trample through on the opponent. And then we do have a little tiny bit of removal in the form of Awaken the Honor Dead. For Chapter 1, it says destroy target non-land permanent. Its Chapter 2 says mill 3 cards, and you could mill a Kotis, which isn't the worst thing, because then on Chapter 3, you may discard a card and you can return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. So that is a way that you can actually find Kotis. And then I originally started out by playing with Arch Enemy's Charm, but that needs 3 pips of black mana. I do like the versatility of Arch Enemy Charm. You can exile a creature or planeswalker that the opponent controls. You can give one of your own creatures +2/+2 and lifelink, so that's another nice way of pumping Kotis up. It's just the only problem with Arch Enemy Charm is it does need the 3 pips of black mana, and, you know, by turn 3 or 4 that you are able to have 3 pips of black mana available, it is honestly quite rare. And I do think you need some removal in this deck, so I did substitute out Arch Enemy's Charm for Nowhere to Run. This is just 2 mana instead of 3 mana, and it just needs 1 black mana and then 1 generic mana, and you can flash this one in, and a creature that the opponent controls gets -3/-3. And what's also really nice about Nowhere to Run is that ward and hexproof abilities don't trigger, so you can always target your opponent's creature, which is really nice. But yeah, Kotis, this definitely is a meme deck. It's not competitive at all. You will definitely get blown out quite often. But the games where you are able to get Kotis down and get a few of these equipment cards on him, these aura cards on him, then you can really deal a lot of damage to the opponents. And we saw from a lot of the games when we were able to punch in for 5, 6, 7 damage. I mean, oftentimes you still are milling 2 or 3 land cards as well. You can't play those, and then maybe you get 1 or 2 good creatures from the opponent. But yeah, it is a really fun deck. Kotis is a lot of fun to play with, but this is definitely a jank deck for you guys. But yeah, I've been rambling long enough. If you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing. It does help me out a lot. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up and a comment down below of any decks that you would like to see me play. But I'm just going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out.